Hello and welcome back to Euro Football Daily. We've made a list of football's most egotistical men. 10. Pelé. You might be shocked to see Brazil's greatest ever player on a list, but it's hard to argue against the man who claimed Messi couldn't be as good as him until he scored 1,283 goals and won 3 World Cups without him having a big ego. Freddie Adu's biggest propaganda tool, Pelé's famously arrogant stance has surrounded him throughout his career, in particular while naming the 125 greatest players of all time. On the list, he didn't include teammates such as Gerson, Jairzinho, Gilmore, Tostão and Zito, instead claiming it wasn't the passes that made his great goals, it was all about his hard work. 9. Adel Taarabt. Known as the QPR magician from Morocco, well, for one season in the Championship at least, his spiral from potential world beater to overweight failure was as rapid as any in football history. The biggest robbery since the Hatton Garden heist, Taarabt somehow stole a move to AC Milan after being loaned out to Fulham in 2013 before someone at the club quickly realised what a disaster he was and released him. This clearly hasn't knocked the playmaker's confidence though, as he currently plies his trade for Benfica B, whilst telling Portuguese journalists he's one of the most gifted players in Europe as soon back as April 2015. 8. Mauro Icardi. Only a massive egotist has the cojones to publish an autobiography aged just 23, and that's exactly what Mauro Icardi did in October of 2016. The arrogant Argentinian, who quite incredibly stole his best friend Maxi Lopez's wife Wanda Nara, is one of the few players in history to go to war with his side's entire fanbase. After claiming fans stole a disabled boy's shirt in his book, he then told fans he would fight them one by one, and he said he'd bring 100 career criminals down from Argentina to kill every single Inter Milan Ultra. Any player that thinks he is bigger than his own team's fans has more than enough ego and arrogance to make our list. 7. Joey Barton. It takes a special kind of arrogance to start a beef with Zlatan, Thiago Silva and Neymar when you've just been binned off by QPR, but that's exactly what Joey Barton did whilst on loan at Marseille back in 2012-2013. The Scouser told Ibra he had a big honker, he told Thiago Silva he looked like a ladyboy, and he told Neymar that he was a YouTube player and simply labelled him cat piss. This from a man who is best known for assaulting Usman Darbo and punching Morten Gamst Pedersen, although I suppose he is capable of the occasional philosophical tweet. The one-cap wonder claimed he'd have hit 100 caps for any other home nation than England, and that he was one of the best midfielders in the UK. Now suspended by Rangers for breaking rules on sports betting, it's safe to say Barton isn't as smart as he thinks. 6. Samir Nasri. What's Samir Nasri doing on this list, you may ask? Well, any player that gets dropped from his national side's World Cup squad because of ego issues just has to make our top 10. In fact, the Frenchman went one stage further, even saying it wasn't his fault he was so arrogant, instead that Didier Deschamps wasn't a good enough coach to manage such a strong personality. To cap it off, let's not forget Samir Nasri's comments to Arsenal fans when he moved to Manchester City, saying, "It's all about me, so why are you so annoyed?" 5. Nicklas Bendtner. I am one of the best strikers in world football because I believe it. The infamous words of Lord Nicklas Bendtner whilst playing for the Gunners. A massive ego that's not really backed up with ability, Bendtner has proved himself as arrogant as they come on a number of occasions. From claiming he should never be dropped and that he should play every single minute, to also claiming he could be a professional in any other sport as long as he put his mind to it, the brain of Nicklas Bendtner literally knows no bounds. Quite why he holds himself in such high regard remains to be seen. After all, he is currently plying his trade for Nottingham Forest in the English Championship. 4. Mario Balotelli. While Super Mario was at Inter Milan, he got booked in the first half against Rubin Kazan for a bad tackle, and with no strikers on the bench, José Mourinho begged his frontman to calm down, spending 14 minutes of half-time pleading with the Italian. The match resumed, and a minute later, Balotelli put in a leg breaker and got himself sent off. The forward went on to prove that time and time again he cared more about himself than the team. He appeared on TV in an AC Milan shirt while still at Inter, and his insistence on taking free kicks and shooting from insane positions pissed off teammates for club and country alike. He famously claimed that only Messi is better than me and refused to do the defensive work, seeing him ditched by Man City and Liverpool, and of course, like all world-class strikers, he joined Nice for free in 2016. 3. Cristiano Ronaldo. Unsurprisingly, the man who's celebrated by showing off his thigh makes his way at number 3 on our list. Add this to the time he shouted his celebration while collecting his 3rd Ballon d'Or and making a film clearly edited by himself, Cristiano is well and truly up his own backside. The Portuguese is now an all-time great after his incredible goal-scoring feats and attaining almost everything there is to win in the game. He's even admitted himself he's not the most humble of guys, but at least while making these claims, he's one of the best players in the world, unlike some other people on our list. 2. José Mourinho. Guess what? The man who declared himself the special one has a bit of an ego problem. Once the world's best manager, José Mourinho has won the Champions League twice, but he'd be forgiven for thinking he invented the game the way he talks about himself. A self-described top manager, probably fairly so, Mourinho has a long-established playbook. When his side wins, the result is all that matters, and when his side loses, the opponents were negative and the better team got shafted. He's also credited himself with the creation of several Chelsea legends, saying who were Lampard, Terry and Drogba before me, they were certainly not world stars. A couple of sackings have not curbed Mourinho's raging self-regard either. As he said back in April 2015, I have a problem, I keep getting better at everything related to my job. 8 months later, he'd been shit-canned and he met us. Unlucky Jose. 1. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. The fact that Zlatan refers to himself in third person at times pretty much says it all. The big Swede has had an extensive career and won 11 league titles on the way, playing for some of the world's best teams. Zlatan's ego hit an all-time high while he was at Barca under Pep Guardiola, claiming the Catalan bought a Ferrari and Ibra but drove it like a Fiat. He also described Pep as a coward and that he's not a man. Harsh words indeed. From Zlatan doesn't do auditions to calling himself God, his ego truly knows no bounds. So there are top 10 biggest egos in football. Have we missed any out though, guys? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed that, check out 10 players that overcame the odds. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe.